ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai movie monster series Godzilla -1, Godzilla. Right out of the box, little pre-irradiated GOJI will be standing at just over 5 inches tall if you go by dorsal fin. If you go by head, it's just slightly over 4 inches tall. Now let's take a look at this, wow, very boring and upsetting looking tag. Come on, Bandai, why are you denying GERARD GOJI his own personal tag front? This is a crime against him. He was awesome. Best first 15 minutes of my life. But anyway, we're gonna get the Godzilla -1 logo on the front instead of GERARD. Then we're going to get Godzilla 2023, Godzilla 2023, Godzilla 2023, and this lovely little spelling magoo over here can actually be counted as somewhat of a miniature Easter egg, if you will, as this is how Godzilla's name was spelled on Odo Island from the original Gojira. And it's actually quite genius because when this figure was first unveiled and we were all trying to avoid seeing what it looked like, when people were translating the text on these original images over here, it was coming out to Wueta, which is kind of funny because when you translate this and you click the little button, it actually just says Gojira. Gojira. But when you type it into Google Translate, it comes out to So yeah, it kind of worked out until people stopped censoring these photos. On the back of the tag, we will get Godzilla -1, Bandai Namco, Bandai Movie Monster Series. This side of the tag will be cut out to Godzilla's pre-irradiated dorsal fins. And here we have the inside of the tag. And now we can sleeve My Chemical GOJI Mance to keep him nice and fresh. No, I don't know why I'm calling him GERARD GOJI. It just kind of happened. So for the most part, GERARD GOJI over here is going to be pretty bland and pretty without paint, much like GOJI himself. And just like GOJI himself, this kind of just works. I mean, when we first see this guy, he's pretty much lit by just fire and gunfire, and since at least I don't think we haven't gotten a clear rendering of this guy, this is what we're going off of, and that's perfectly fine. This guy's going to be rocking around the same eye colors as GOJI did, and just like GOJI, they're going to be done up in varying degrees of quality, and he looks kind of dorky from the front end, doesn't he? But anyway, the paint for the teeth looks pretty good. The inside of the mouth and membrane paint is a bit messy, as you can see right here, and a little bit from the front. And this side, it's a bit cleaner, except for that little spooch over here. But for the most part, it looks just fine. There will be some very minor detailing for the inside of the mouth for the tongue, as well as the roof of the mouth. That's pretty much it for that area. Now let's take a look at the rest of this figure, and holy moly, mother of Jesus Christ, this guy's got so much going on in terms of detail. And surprisingly enough, he's got a decent amount of paint on him as well. Take a look at these coffee doo-doo mud stains we've got on GERARD GOJI over here. It's all pretty much in the same place as that tannish yellow paint GOJI had, only this time it's applied much thicker with a more shinier paint application, as well as just a bit messier, I will say. And much like GOJI, I feel this paint, when paired up with the very bland color the figure was molded in, really just helps. Gonna have some under the arms over here too. Holy hell. I will say though, I do very much prefer GOJI's paint applications, because this, while very cool and different, does come off a little uneven and messy-ish, especially over here on the chest. But I do really like how this chest looks though. I like how layered it is and how that moves into the crotchal area and then the thighs, shins, and feet. And here we can see that GERARD GOJI is going to have some very dark black toenails. He will, of course, have those on his claws as well. Go figure, GERARD GOJI's a goth. Ain't the first time such a thing's happened.
Welcome to a night of music and despair. It doesn't work.
And the details on these major areas, much to the surprise of no one, are all very, very well done. Nothing on the bottom of the feet though. And yet again, on top of the detail game, I do say. Even on the undersides of the arms and hands. Gotta give him credit where credit is due. I really do like that he's got these longer fingers moving into his wrist and forearm over here, and I like that these elbow spikes are present as well. The armor-plated look moving into the very bumpy and spiky upper bicep and shoulder look great. And I guess I really don't have many complaints here. Just that the mouth paint is a little sloppy and he looks a little high from the front. But from the very top of his head moving into his very wrinkly and bumpy dorsal fins, oh man, the detail game is strong as usual when it comes to Bandai. And the winning detail game only becomes all the more clearer to see as we move into the tail because sweet Jesus, this looks awesome. Minus GOJI's tail looked great, so just the fact that GERARD GOJI's tail looks great is even better. I'm just a very big fan of the very bumpy, segmented looking design going on here. And look at that, it looks like he's wounded over here too. Is that present on the opposite side? Oh yeah, oh man, I'm only just noticing this now. This dude's got scars all over his tail. Dude, holy hell, he's got it on his body too.
What?
Oh man, he's even got it on his łull area. That is definitely interesting. That completely threw me off. Wow, I didn't notice that. And since this guy's scene ultimately takes place in the dark, I don't know if I could even catch that in the movie itself. And he doesn't seem to have those scarred details anywhere else on his body. Holy hell, look at all the detail on his lower jaw and neck. Nice. But yeah, I'm not really seeing any more scarring anywhere else. Holy hell. That's a cool little detail. Oh, my bad. He's got one on his left thigh, and he's actually got 3 over here on his right thigh. One up here, one over here, and then another over here. Interesting. GOJI's got the wounds going on. But anyway, back on track. The details on the dorsal fins, even on the opposite side, oh, it's all fantastic, fam. It really, really is. And now with the presence of these scars that I've only just noticed now, it just gives this figure all the more reason to be owned, you know? And I'm actually quite glad they didn't do the same thing with the body paint as they did with minus GOJI, just because, yeah, he's the same creature and everything, but the darker paint, which is a bit shinier, kind of adds a little bit more personality to him. Yeah, I'm just in love with all of these bumps, all of these grooves, these growths, and now scars. Scars, open wounds on his tail. That's just friggin' awesome, dude. Now I guess we could take a look at the bottom of the tail. Here's the trademarking, Toho Company Limited, Bandai China, and yeah, differentiation in the tail's detail. Got a lot of different things going on here. I'm just completely taken aback by the scars over here, man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep gushing about it, but still, that's just a cool detail I never noticed. Hell yeah. So detail-wise, if you couldn't already tell, this guy's getting a solid star. You would have gotten a solid star without noticing of the scars and such on his tail, but now it's just an even stronger solid star. Paint, it's a bit messy in some areas, but since I'm really warming up to the coffee mud poo-poo stains all over him, I'll give paint a solid star as well. I would really like to see a heavy paint applications version of this guy, just to see what Bandai would do with more paint budget. So that's 2 solid stars for this guy. Let's see how he does with articulation, even though you probably could already guess what's articulated and not. Swivel at the arm, swivel at the other arm, swivel at the leg, swivel at the other leg. Nothing at the tail, and nothing at the head. Just about what I expected for GERARD GOJI over here. Solid star. Now let's take a look at size comparisons. Minus GOJI, Monster King series minus GOJI, Frozen Shin, Morphological Change set Shinagawa-kun, Morphological Change set Kamata-kun, Monster King series standard Shin, Shokugan Shins, SH Monster Arts Rebirth GOJI, Hayatoy's Burning GOJI, NECA Reactor Glow GOJI, Godzilla 1998 and Zilla figures, Super 7 Shogun Ultimate Shogun Warriors Godzilla, and some Trendmaster repaints. And real quick, I just wanted to get a couple more shots of GERARD and minus GOJI together. I don't know, they just look really, really good together. In fact, I would say that he looks even better next to the Monster King series version, while it's definitely not scale, I think. Just seeing pre-irradiated GERARD Lizard next to big old minus GOJI, it just feels right. And I think it gives a little bit more sense to this guy's final size, you know? Figure-wise, not movie-wise. Like, hey, he was a bit smaller before he got hit with the bomb and everything, so yeah. Makes sense to me. Not half bad of a figure. Again, I would like to see a variant of this guy featuring a little bit more paint, but if this is the first and last we see of this guy in this particular everything, I'll be okay. I just want to extend a loving thank you to you all for watching that Haya Ghidorah video and getting the channel to 20,000 subscribers. That is one hell of a way to end the year off, I tells ya. Will there be a 20k subscribers special? Yes, eventually. I wasn't expecting to get to 20k this year. I am going to try and get that done some point in time, Q1 2024. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. I want to say thank you to my latest $5 patron, Dominic. Thank you so much for becoming a ShinRobjira patron, my guy. And when next we meet, I will be talking about the Super 7 Godzilla Toho Ultimates Godzilla vs. Destroya set. Oh boy! I'm actually quite excited for these. The in-hands have been looking rather hopeful. So until then, I'll see you all then and there. Peace!